How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about my build process as I take this machine nest model and recreate it inside of Space Engineers. I started off by laying out the floor and the back wall to get an idea of how big this needed to be. I like to paste in some of my previously made blueprints just to get an idea for size reference. And this was looking pretty good, just needed to add a couple extra on the sides there. At this point I was happy with the general size and I started measuring out where the midpoints on the floor would be. I brought over my spectator camera so that I could connect the 4 sections underneath the ground while I disconnected the middle part. This gave me a better idea of what the layout was going to look like. I then measured out the midpoint for the wall so I could put in my large to small rotor connection as an anchor for the small grid detail that was going to go on. There's a large band in the middle of the wall, so I thought that looked like a good place to start. After I had that set, then I started working on one of the distinct features of the build, which is this background kind of lattice structure that is in the shape of a bunch of X's. It quickly became apparent to me that this was going to be extremely tedious to build doing it this way. So I thought of a plan, but I wanted to make sure that this was the correct design for the X. So I tried this second one, which was a little more spaced out, just to make sure I didn't like that one more. I ended up going with the more spaced out X. So after deleting the old one, I made a copy, and then I cut out that X that I had made and deleted everything else. It seemed like a lot more enjoyable to me to just copy and paste this one little thing a bunch of times instead of needing to recreate a whole bunch of them block by block. I was happy with the way that this row turned out, so I began work on the second row. I started to fill in the vertical support structures, as well as adding a little bit of definition going horizontally across. At this point, I decided to work on the color a little bit. I knew I needed a little more blue, but this was too far, so I scaled it back to gray, made the color a little bit darker, and then I also made the lattice even darker than the background so that it would stand out better. I decided that this row of blocks needed to be moved down one. And this was to make room for a little pop of yellow going across. Referencing the picture that I was working off of, I started to pick out specific details on the wall that I could recreate just to break up the whole look a little bit. I used this corner block with a sci-fi skin on it because it gives this really nice uniform look. And then I started to cut out another hint of detail right here. It's nice to add some extra chunky bits just to break up the monotony. I trimmed some of the fat off of the sides, and then it was time to begin work on the top of the wall. I cut out some spaces to place a few more yellow blocks in. It's easy to overdo it with a bright color like this, but I felt like a few more hints needed to be added. The bottom of the wall had this raised portion in order to help distinguish itself from the floor. I wasn't quite sure what this part was going to be, but I just played around with the shapes until I stumbled upon something that looked good. I felt that these two parts were a little close together, so I moved one of them to the outside. These ended up being some kind of ventilation module, and I liked the look, so I moved on to the large blocks underneath, switching them out for the backside of some showers. I saw the potential here to add some fun detail, clipping through the backside of some half blocks using interior lights. I made sure to color them darker than the other blocks so that they would pop out better. It was time to add some final raised parts. Something as simple as adding a couple of half blocks can really make it look nice. The central column I wanted to be slightly thicker, so I could add just a few more hints of this yellow going up vertically this time. I decided that the vents on the bottom looked better than these air vents, so I switched them out. And the final touch was to add a couple of spotlights to look like piping. After a little over an hour of work, I felt the wall was complete, and in the next video I'll go on to show you how I tackled making the floor. Until then, I want to really thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you on the next one.